Hi everybody, it's Dr Chris here and welcome to our third lesson. And we've got so much to do today, I thought we'd dive straight in to doing a little bit of a recap on what we did last time we were together. And I'm also going to show you a couple of other new pieces. So we've got lots to do. I'm just here setting up my piano so as I can play some music for you. As well as the things I'm going to show you. So whilst I'm just getting set up here, perhaps it would be good for you to just make sure you're sitting at the piano or your keyboard. Just make sure that you are seated comfortably, and I wonder if you can find middle C for me, because that's where we were working on last session. Just as a very brief recap, you have two keys here, two black keys, and three black keys. And we're always going to find a C, which is to the left of two black keys, and here it is. Okay, now there are quite a few C's on the piano. We talked about middle C, which is very roughly in the middle, but we also have a C lower down and a C further up the keyboard. And actually you can keep going. Now it depends upon whether you've got a 61 note piano, an 88 note piano. Actually it doesn't matter. Whatever you've got is absolutely great. We're going to start off, actually I'm going to play you a little phrase and I want you to copy it for me. We're going to start off unaccompanied and then I'm going to actually play a backing track through this piano as well. So let's start on middle C, and can you copy this for me? Okay, and here's another one. Okay, and here's another one. Now that one was actually really quite tricky because that was quite a big gap. And if you're doing this by listening, well done. Try another couple. Now this time what I want you to do is try not to look at my fingers on the keys. Okay, try to actually listen to the tones and try and judge how far apart those notes are. I'll tell you what we'll do first of all, have a listen to the 5 notes. Okay, now without looking, try this. Okay, now this one. Okay, and one more. Okay, good. If you got the last one, well done. That was quite a big gap. Can you work out what the notes were? We started on C, and what was this one? Well, the answer was, it was a G. We went C, D, E, F, G. And we were talking last time about how the white keys are named after some of the letters of the alphabet, and the keys, as they go higher up the keyboard, like this, as they go higher up, we follow the alphabet. C, D, E, F, G. And we also talked about, last session, going one step below C. So C, down to B. Because we're going to use that for a piece of music. Okay, here's a backing track, a little bit more of a warm-up for you. Can you copy these? Now you can either just listen to them or watch the keys on my piano here and play them back to me. Okay, here is the backing track. Here we go. You. Okay, one more, here we go. Okay, well, if you got those, well done. If you got some of them and not others, well, it doesn't matter. You can always obviously watch this video again and have another practice. They're actually getting a little bit more complicated than the first ones we did, so well done for those. Right, so the last time I saw you, we were working on a piece of music by Bill Withers. And it was a little tune that he wrote called Lean on Me. And this piece of music, it had several techniques to it. It had the first technique where we started on C, and we used all the fingers on white keys like this. So that was the whole song, and you probably noticed that at the very end, my hand actually moved away. We'd always said previously that our thumb was on middle C, and actually I moved it. You probably noticed that at the end. So, okay, let's get back into playing that piece, and today what I want you to do is actually use both hands at the same time to play the piece. So, if you've already mastered it, this is just going to be a little bit of a practice. If you're still working on it, well, this is good too, because it's a little bit of a rehearsal. So, okay, let's have a little look at this, and we're going to, first of all, find the backing track. And I'm going to play the whole piece, and then we're going to actually go into it a bit more and practice the phrases. Okay, so that's what we're going to aim to do first of all. We're going to do a little bit of a practice, maybe just playing the phrases together, okay? So again, as we've done in the previous lessons, I'll play something and then you echo it, okay? So it starts on the C. Okay, so do what I do. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and so. Now you'll go 1, 2, off you play. So C, C, D, E, F. That's good. And the next phrase, we come down like this. Okay, now you try. Get that fourth finger ready on F. Okay, and here you go. 1, 2, ready, play. So. Okay, that's good. And then the next phrase that follows on is this one. Okay, put your thumb on C. Here we go. Ready, go. Okay, so we're going to add all those phrases together. Okay, so I'm going to take you back right to the beginning of the song and have a listen to it once without the backing track and then once with the backing track. Starting on C. Here we go. Actually, I'm continuing into the second phrase. Okay, right, so let's try that with the backing track. Ready? Here we go. Thumb on C. Here we go. Good, good. And you probably noticed that the second phrase, we talked about this last session, is actually quite a repeat of the first, isn't it? Have a listen. Here's the first phrase. Here's the second one, second half. And really, it's only the very end of the piece which is different. Should we practice the ending? So you're going to put your thumb on C. Okay, and then what you've got to remember to do is that C has to then slide down to this note here. Can you remember what this note's called? Yep, it's called B, because we're going backwards down the alphabet. So C, B. Okay, we're going to learn another note today as well. All right. Sorry, digressing. We're going to practice the ending. Okay. Now the ending of Lean on Me, we're going to start on a C. Do that. Okay, here it is again. Okay, right, and can you try that with me? Ready? We're going to go 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, I think it's time to put it all together. Okay, we'll have one practice go and then once with the backing track, and then we're going to look at something entirely new. So, here we go. Here's the C. Okay, here is Lean on Me. Okay, and here we go with the track one more time. Like that. Well done if you got that. If you need more practice, don't worry. You can always rewind it. Now, it's probably fairly obvious to say this, but when you're playing the piano, of course, you're not only going to use one hand. And today's mission is to get you playing with both hands. And we're going to use Lean on Me as a bit of a starter, really. I'm going to show you a couple of things that you can do very quickly, very easily to actually make a much bigger sound on the piano. So hopefully by now you know the melody of how this is going to run, and you know the tune fairly well. So what I want you to try and do, whoops, backing track wants to start again. What I want you to try and do is play the notes of Lean on Me, but actually we're going to use the left hand. Okay, so for now we're going to stick to the same notes, okay, and we're going to use our left hand. Now, if like me you're right-handed, I always find doing anything with my left hand actually a little bit trickier because of course it's not my dominant hand. So if you're new to playing the keyboard or piano, don't worry if all of a sudden your left hand doesn't feel quite as certain and as confident as the right. It will, and that's one of the great things about playing the piano, is that we develop skills in both hands. But what I want you to try and do is with your left hand, and in my case, of course I've got my ring on my fourth finger on my left hand, we're going to put our fourth finger on C. And just like we did earlier, we're going to put all our other fingers on next door notes, and we're going to have this hand position here. Okay, have you got that? Okay, make sure you're playing on your fingertips. And we're going to play the same tune. So with me, what I want you to try and do is we're going to do the same thing as we've just done before, but with the opposite hand, with the left hand. The most important thing with this is make sure you start with your fourth finger on C. Okay? You might want to watch me just as the first time. Here we go. Okay, so did you see there? I started off with my fourth finger, and actually, I always think the hardest part about that track is actually at the very end again, when you go fifth finger. Okay, so maybe just with me, I know you haven't played the whole piece yet, but maybe with me, let's just practice the ending, because it's the ending that's the most trickiest bit, okay? So, fourth finger on C, we'll do it nice and slowly, here we go. Okay. Like that. And one more time. I play it first and then you play it. Okay. Now with me. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, right, now it's your turn to do the whole thing, the whole piece. Are you ready? So we're going to go from the beginning. 1, 2, ready, go. So. And. Okay, well done if you got there. Now, of course, you know, I've just said we're playing with both hands, but we've started playing the same notes that we did earlier in our right hand. We can't do that. It doesn't work. We can't play with both hands at the same time with the same notes. So, our left hand is going to actually move down. And our left hand is going to begin on C down here. Okay, now this is the really tricky bit, because what we've got to try and do now is coordinate both hands like this. Okay, now that's going to take some practice to do, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on that particular element today because there's something else I want to show you. But have a go at that first of all. I know we touched on that last lesson very, very briefly, but we've had a few comments about, well, how do we do hands together? Well, actually, what you need to do is really make sure you know the right hand first. And you've got to be able to play that so that you know the tune. The tune, the melody has to be really secure. Then do the left hand separately. Okay? And then do it very slowly, hands together. Okay? And when we're putting hands together, we always practice slower than normal, like this. I'll tell you what, I'll do it once with the backing track to show you how it goes, all right, before we move on to our next section. So, here we go, with both hands together. Okay, Okay, so that's both hands together. Have fun with that and see how you get on. Okay, there's one other tip that I'm going to share with you next lesson to do with actually making it sound even better. But before we do that, try that hands together first of all. Right, okay, so it's time to learn another new tune, and we're going to finish off today's session by looking at a lovely tune by Bob Dylan called Blowin' in the Wind. And this particular piece, I'm going to show you on the keys first, and then next week we'll have a look at how you write music and how it will be written down if you were reading music. So the great thing about Blowing in the Wind is it introduces us to other notes as well. So with Lean on Me we started on a C, but with Blowing in the Wind we're not going to start on C. Okay, it actually starts on a G. Now you might know the melody of the song, it's a lovely song. If you don't, it doesn't matter. But just to show you how the melody goes, this is how the beginning of Blowing in the Wind sounds like. Okay, now there's a few things there. You've probably already noticed that we can no longer put our thumb on C, because if we did that, we'd end up doing this. And that's not a good technique to do that. Okay, when we're playing the piano, we want to make sure that we use the correct finger to start with, so that we sort of minimise the number of times we have to move our hands around. Okay, so we're not going to start with our thumb on C. What we are going to do, first of all, is find the note G, C, D, E, F, G, and we're going to use finger 3 to start this piece. So Blowing in the Wind starts with finger 3 on G, finger 3 on G, like this. Okay, now the next thing about this is that we haven't actually discovered this note yet. This one here. We've done C, D, E, F, G. Okay, now the next note up actually is the beginning of the pattern all over again. Remember at the beginning of these sessions I said that the white keys are named after the alphabet, but only up to G. So after G, actually the pattern starts again. So we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, so we're going to start off with third finger on G and then going up to A like this. Okay, try that for me. Okay, have another listen. So it goes, starts on G, like that, and then we're going to take our third finger off G and put it on an E. So like that. Okay, so all of a sudden now our hands are moving around the keys a little bit more, and we're starting to put our fingers on different notes. We're moving away from thumb on middle C. Okay, now you might find this really confusing to start with, but actually don't worry too much. Again, the most important thing is to remember where you start. I'm going to start on a G, third finger. And then, okay, and what were those three notes there we played? We played G, 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 A, G, and then we went to 3 down here. What were they? That one, that one, that one. Yeah, the answer is E, D, and C. So here's the phrase again. And one more time. Okay, now it's your turn to play. Okay, play along with me. Let's try this. Ready? So we're going to start on a G. Okay, well done. Let's have another go at that. Okay, well done. So, if you got that, that's really great. So this week, have a practice of Lean on Me. Try it with both hands. Like that. And start to learn Blowing in the Wind like this. Okay, get that third finger moving around from G down to E. Watch. Third finger hop. Okay. Okay, give that a go, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.